0 to 60 can define a performance car, but it's the fastest 60 to 0 that's the aim of Tarok's brakes. From road cars to race cars, circuits, special stages, or the autostrada, nothing reduces speed like Tarok's brakes. Italy gave the world the art of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Tarok's has given drivers the art of stopping. For more information and to acquire your own masterpiece, visit tarox.co.uk. Yes, it's me, Mark Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast.
I'd like to welcome to the Backseat Driver Radio Show a fine young fellow called Joel Mutton. I'm here with Joel at the Bicester Heritage Centre. It's been a fantastic day out. Joel, welcome to the Backseat Driver Radio Show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. Lovely to meet you, yeah.
Now, you claim to be the car collector who isn't a car collector, who has 35 cars, a complete cross-section of vehicles.
Yeah.
How did all this come about?
Well, it all sort of happened by accident, really. Father has been in the motor business in Oxford, selling sort of used cars, ordinary sort of bread and butter cars for sort of regular people, bless them. And somewhere along the line, sort of, if interested little cars used to come along, and they used to be kept. And the trouble with cars, they're quite big. They're not like watches and things that you can squirrel away in drawers and this, that and the other, and they do take up a bit of room. The first car my dad gave me was in 1977. He took a Mark 1 Jaguar in part exchange, and it was the Mark 1, which is with the first unitary construction monocoque.
So that'd be like the one in Endeavour, the Jaguar.
It is that one.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 to you, because obviously you're a car man, so you know it's not the one that Inspector Morse drove later on, as he was an older guy. But exactly the same one. I think there's only 60 or something left now on that website. How many left?
And I must put in, I have driven one. It's a long while ago, and I drove one once, and it really is like driving the saloon version of an XK120. They are very similar
a little bit
in how they drive and how they feel.
It's sort of rather like stirring a very thick pudding.
Yeah.
That old Moss gearbox. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting thing on the planet, but you've got to tip your hat to William Lyons. I mean, what he did, and for the price, was phenomenal. I mean, people were charging, same name, say Aston Martin, the other manufacturers, for a car that was probably not a million miles away in quality, for like 3 times the price.
Well, it's like the E-Type. Jag Ferrari hated the E-Type, even though Enzo said there's no beautiful car in the world.
Exactly.
Because you got Ferrari performance for about a third of the price.
I know, exactly that. So that was the first car, and I've still got it. And over time, I then got into Jensens. Aged about 14, I bought my first Jensen.
Quite young, is that?
I know. I used to sell cans of Coke and bars of chocolate and hacksaw blades, gardening gloves and cigarette lighters at school. It was the cigarette lighters that sort of brought it to an end. The headmistress, lovely lady called Sylvia West, she said it was wonderful I was selling things because I was showing entrepreneurial flair, which was fantastic. And she actually said it was cool, even though I was undercutting the school tuck shop. Anyway, I made about £500 over a couple of year period, which was it was quite good. I used to go to school every day with this big bag, and everyone used to think, oh, he's clever, all those books, but it was actually full of cans of Coke and this, that and the other.
And comestibles.
Exactly. And she let it carry on, but it hit the fan slightly when I bought a job lot of faulty return cigarette lighters, gassed them all up, and a young lad blew his eyebrows off in the reading room, and then I sort of put a bit of a break on it by then. But by then I'd made, £500-600, and a guy that used to work for my dad, who's sadly no longer with us, Noel Ponty, lovely guy. I mean, when he died, there must have been 1,000 people at his funeral. Certainly more than I'll have at mine. I'll probably have to get onto central casting to sort of boost the numbers up with mine.
You'll have all the car dealers crying the right.
He had this Jensen that he'd bought off a guy who was actually a sausage. He used to make sausages. And he bought it off a bookie down in Southampton because the number was 4MKE, and this guy was called Michael Edel. Anyway, he bought the car for the plate, didn't want the car. Noel bought the car, and I bought the car for him for £550. A fake fur coat and a sack of potatoes. And I still got that car, and it turned out later it was the 69 motor show car, and I was born in 69. which is nice. And number 13, which probably accounts for the fact that it's cut out a few times and nearly caught fire and everything. So. I don't, and it's
so
still got it.
They didn't put any extra effort into the show car then.
No, bless them. I mean, it was an amazing car, and incredible how that little company in the Midland West Bromwich there brought that amazing machine out. Really, I mean, it's unbelievable how they did it.
Yeah.
But I think really they made too many, and then obviously they got involved with the Jensen Healey and the fuel crisis and all the rest of it, and people with long hair and bell bottoms going on strike every other week, and that was the end of that and the end of the British motor industry as we knew it, as Germany was sort of accelerating away and we were sort of going down the tube, so to speak. But got the Jensen, then I got into Porsches, quite an enthusiast on Porsche 911s. Bought my first 911. It was a 1971, but it had been financed as a 79 911 Turbo. In those days, there was no computers. People used to finance cars. They'd ring up and say, "Oh, I got such and such. How much you going to loan on that? Oh, stick your finger in the air, 10 grand."
Yeah.
They repoed it and found out it was a 1970 that had been like 3-litre RS bodied. That's what they used to do in those days. You'd get an old 1970 911 and make it look like a turbo.
Yeah.
I mean, people, it's unthinkable now that you chop up a 1970 car, but they were just bangers. So that was when I got into Porsches. Then I sort of later on got into Ferraris, and along the way all the other makes.
But the thing is, you've never ported with them, have you?
That's the problem. Cars, being an enthusiast and a car dealer, they don't sit well together because you're supposed to get rid of them.
Yeah, that's the general concept.
That's where I lost the plot.
You buy it cheap, sell it high, and then go again.
That's where I lost the plot. If there was a plot, but it was cool. I mean, these interesting little cars used to come along, and I'd keep them, and all of a sudden you look round and you think you've got 12 cars and you've got like 35, and the storage is the issue. We had a garage in Cowley when my father started it in the 60s, and it was 3 years ago this month I retired, and we sold the land to one of the colleges, and they built this huge block on it, student block. We got paid rather nicely for it, so that was another thing. When that went, suddenly it was loads of cars on the forecourt that I'd sort of collected over the years that I had to put in storage, and storage is expensive.
Yeah.
I've got about, 15 or 20 at home. Luckily I've got a nice big garage at home, but there was the overflow. So last year I did have 35. I got rid of about 10, and I'm still sort of reeling from it, not from the fact that I practically gave them away, just the fact I didn't really want to get rid of any of them.
Well, you were saying you lose sleep over it.
I know. I literally have to sleep on one certain side, otherwise I'll start thinking about them. I mean, that is real. A psychiatrist could do a whole seminar on that, I'm sure.
You don't mind me asking, what did you get rid of?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. There was a Jensen Healey in there, which really, I hate the Jensen Healey, because it was one of the reasons that Jensen went down the tubes. Donald Campbell did a deal on the train with Colin Chapman to buy this unproven 2-litre twin cam engine, and Jensen became like Lotus's R&D department, and all these cars came back with these head gaskets done, and then they changed the engine, I think, to 2.2 or something, and eradicated the problem, but the head gaskets went on them. So poor old Jensen had all these warranty claims on this engine that wasn't even really their engine, and that sort of tipped them over the edge, so to speak. And obviously the fuel crisis and all the rest of it. But there was a Healey in there. There was a 600 SL V12 SL Merc in there. There was a 95 one, which massively regret getting rid of that. There was a Super V8 X350 Jag, which they only made 600 of them. A lovely Marina coupe. I know the words lovely and Marina don't really sit terribly well together. But
do you know it? One of the rarest classic cars in the country is the Marina.
Well,
it's not a Ferrari. I think the problem is Top Gear kept dropping Grand Pianos
in that barn, or whatever it was, there was another Marina that I had, and it was a 1.8 TC coupe, and it was a one-owner car, 36,000 miles, supplied by Hartwell's up the road here back in '73. Never been painted, all totally original.
MGB engine.
Yeah, still got the hand-painted gold coach line. And I always say it's the Cowley GTO. And that's when the people with the ambulance turn up with the white coats on usually. But what a lovely old thing. I know they're weird to drive.
Yeah.
It's literally like being dragged down the road on a plank of wood. But what a cool old thing. I mean, you rock up at any car show, I mean, you've got all the Exotica lined up there, and that damn thing, people are drawn to it because obviously a lot of people are more associated.
Well, they relate to it.
Exactly. My dad had one of those, or the neighbour had one or something. That's a super duper little thing that survived. There was an M5 E39 in there that survived. I had bids on them, but there was a Clan Crusader in there that I bought. I'd always wanted a Clan since I was a little kid. I always thought they were quite cool little cars, and a lot of people they're not. A lot of people get it wrong. They think they're kit cars, but they were actually built in Washington, in the UK, not the one in America.
They were powered by a Hellman Imped.
Yeah, in a purpose-built factory by Paul Hasseur, who was ex-Lotus. His grandfather invented the Sadia water heater, so quite a wealthy sort of family. But the Newcastle, council or board of trade or whatever, built this beautiful, that's still there on the Crowther Industrial Estate, this fantastic factory.
Yeah. All
glass fronted, real cool building. I think it does floral products or something now, and built this amazing little car. And I think VAT, and I think they had trouble with suppliers, all this, that, and the other. And that was they made 315, and that was the end of that. But I've got one of those. That was in the sale.
They also made a fantastic little rally car, did the Clan Crusader?
The Clan Crusader in the Isle of Man rally with Andy Dawson and John Foden as co-pilot. They come second in the 1971 or 72 Lombard Manx Rally.
Yeah.
Behind Roger Clark's Works Escort.
Yeah.
Doing a speed of 122 mile an hour. I know these people. I know Paul Sir. I know John Foden. I know Andy. And it was doing 122 mile an hour in this little car.
Yeah.
First out. I think where it went a bit pear-shaped, they had to fudge the chassis number slightly. And I think somehow they'd suddenly made 700.
Yeah.
But we're airbrush over that.
Oh, yeah.
For its first outing and one of its most famous outings,
Ferrari and Porsche have pulled the homologation figures, so I think Clan are allowed to get away with it.
But the Clan's such a fantastic little car. It's quite a small. I'm not very big, but you tend to sort of feel like you're wearing it more than driving it. But beautifully designed, and it's great. I know Paul is a personal friend, Paul Hasseur, that created it. He had John Frayling design it, that worked on Lotus Europa and Lola T70 and that. So they had all the good people on board.
Yeah.
And it should have done really well. It probably could have done with just doing a little bit bigger, because it is quite small. But it's it's another footnote in the motoring story, so to speak, and it's a cool little car.
So go on. What else lurks within the in the Mutton stables?
What else? What else we got? I got a Bentley Continental R that I bought 20 years ago. I've got personal friends with John Heffernan, who designed it. He also designed the Aston Martin Virage. They were like 200 grand new in '94. It was the second most expensive car after the McLaren F1 back in period. They only made 1,000 of them. They made 2 a week for about 10 years. I paid about 50,000 for that car in '02, and it was like 200 new.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable. Not very misunderstood sort of car, really. They've never taken off in value. I think it's probably only worth about 40 or 50 now if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But what a lovely thing. I don't want to sell it at any rate, but I'm not really bothered about values. It's not really what it's all about. But beautiful cars. And my one, the first owner was Stephen Hendry.
The snooker player.
Yeah. The boss of the sweater shop who used to sponsor him bought 2. If you can imagine, 400 odd grand. He bought a vermilion red one for himself, and the blue one Stephen had, and he had the number, I think, Q1 on it. I got a picture of him with the car, and I bought it off Warren Clark, the actor.
Oh yeah.
Dalzell and Pascoe, but I call it the Clockwork Orange car, because obviously he drove the Droogmobile in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
And sadly he's obviously no longer with us and that, so that's sort of adds to the history of the sort of car. A lot of people used to say it was owned by Warren Clark, and for some reason everyone thinks it's Alf Garnett, but it's not. That was Warren Mitchell, but you're sort of halfway right. But beautiful, otherworldly sort of vehicle. So I've got that, got my old Defender, bought a nice orange sort of 997 the other day, the only orange one, they only ever made one orange 997 4S in '06. It's obviously been made since, but at the time it was a very rare car, because most people were just having silver, black or blue or whatever. So this is quite an incredible car. Bought that from Dick Lovett in Swindon. What else? We've got the RSP Cooper S Mini. I've had that about 15 years. Got my Steve McQueen replica Mini. It's been to Goodwood twice now.
Which was saying the interesting thing is that started life
as a Studio 2.
Yeah.
It always amused. It would have been 2 years ago today. It was at Revival at Goodwood in the motor show, motor show with Sky TV, with Steve McQueen's personal cars, and they used it again in 15 on the driver's walkway with his 275 GTB and some other lookalike ones. But the amazing thing is I paid 50 quid for that car, and it's been invited to Goodwood twice. And the lovely thing about Lord March, when he invites you, he also lashes you up with lots of tickets.
Yeah.
And lots of nice food and drink and your nice little aluminium swing badge, and you really get treated really well. I mean, they're having a bit of a bad time down there at the moment, obviously with COVID and everything. So I wish Lord March, all the best, because that is an incredible thing. You get people come along, like, oh, it's a bit samey, but it's a bit like the original Top Gear with Clarkson, Hammond and May. We used to moan about that. Oh, this is getting a bit long in the tooth, but God, do we miss those boys?
Yeah, I'm afraid its replacement didn't quite work, did it?
As soon as the boys went, I didn't ever watch it ever again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they're not bothered. I remember I met James May and I met Jeremy since, and they said, well, at least I can sit and watch Top Gear on Sunday night now, and someone else make a fool of themselves. But they were the dream team.
Yeah.
And obviously they've tried to replicate it several times now, and I'm sure whoever's doing it now is doing a marvellous job. But I felt very connected with those guys because they were proper car. I mean, Chris Harris is a proper car man, so you can't really bring him into that. But
and Matt LeBlanc, I always thought, was actually not bad.
I never watched it, to be honest, but it might be my loss.
Yeah.
Maybe I was missing out. Maybe I was being too ruthless, but I sort of drew that line in the sand like you do, like a big-headed lunatic that I probably am at times, and I probably missed out on some good entertainment.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll probably come back to it later on, like I do a lot of things. I'm just watching The Bridge at the moment on BBC 4 with the old Porsche and that's like 9 years old, and it's taken me 9 years to catch up with that. So maybe I'll watch the reruns, Matt LeBlanc in 2030 if we're all still around, all being well. As this terrible thing blows away anytime soon, hopefully.
So what else? I mean, what are your favourite cars? Because I mean, you select. It's an eclectic.
My all-time
selection.
favourite car is one I'll never ever own unless something bizarre happens, as my shares suddenly go screaming through the roof, which certainly isn't happening at the moment. Is the McLaren F1, obviously, and it's everyone's favourite, and you sort of look back and think, oh my God, what was that, £600,000 new at the time, which was an astronomical amount in 94. I mean, you could have probably bought 12 semi-detached houses in Oxford for that sort of money then. But I'm quite friends with Peter Stevens, who designed it. I was with him only a couple of weeks ago at London Concours, and I was talking to him, it's just incredible how the thing, it was like Fabergé egg on wheels, and it's only a small car, but it is incredible. That would be my all-time favourite car. But as for favourite cars, I mean, I've never had any children, but I know people always say it's like picking your favourite kid. You can't do it, apparently.
Today you're in an Aston Martin.
I am.
And the ironic thing is, this particular Aston Martin, which is a
lowly 06 Vantage.
You commented when you first saw these cars
come out,
you didn't like them.
Absolutely curled up like sort of a week-old sandwich. I thought, oh my God, what the hell's that? And looking at it today, it looks lovely.
Yeah.
But when it come out, if it's not made in Newport Pagnell, I mean, even the DB7, a lashed up XJS, in which it was really, but beautiful design by Ian Callum.
I mean, for the listeners, we're actually sat looking at this Aston Martin
it does
now.
Look gorgeous there this afternoon.
And the other thing is, they don't look too big, really, do they? They're a manageable
looks
looking.
too long.
Yeah.
Of that period.
Yeah.
You look at it now, and it does look dated.
Yeah.
But that all of a sudden. And I think they're, even with the new Vantage, I've noticed they're trying to make the grille, because when they come out with that real brutal new grille 2 years ago, there's even a company now that can retrofit you like this model Vantage grille on the new one.
Oh,
so there's obviously a lot of other people thinking the same. Great looking car, the new Vantage, but the new grille, I don't know, it's a bit like when Ian Callum brought the new XJ out. I mean, he was under massive pressure from Jaguar to get rid of the pipe and slippers.
Yeah.
And in one foul swoop, they lost the DNA of Jaguar that William Lyons had created in, I don't know, 1930
I mean, we used to run XJS, and it really was a gentleman's club sports car.
I know, it was a bizarre car, that Malcolm Sayer design, but it's only recently that it looks really good. That car's taken years to... I mean, after the E-Type, it was like, Christ, what the hell is this thing? It looks like a cigar on wheels, It's like so weird with the buttresses and all the rest of it, but time's been kind to that one as well. But, all of a sudden... it looks really good, and they're such good value. They look good, they sound good, they're not very fast. I mean, it struggles to sort of drag itself along, really, the early 4.3 one, but it does look the bizzo. And people love it and all the rest of it. But
I mean, do you drive them all? I mean,
not really, funny. No.
Are they all raw? Can you get in every one, turn the key and it'll go?
I try to sort of keep them a bit like that, but you will find me if I'm driving around Oxford taking the mum to the shops or something, you'll find me a Suzuki Caravan,
Right.
1.3, and don't knock it till you tried one. They are fantastic. You got the little sliding door. You go and get your takeaway last night, your Chinese takeaway in the back there.
Yeah.
Job done. I've got a nice number on it, 1BJX, so it's got a little bit of kudos.
You don't find people knock on the window and say, "I have a plumbing job for you," or anything?
No, not at the moment. No. They're wonderful little things. You can whiz them in and out.
Yeah.
Great driving position, and the gearbox.
Yeah.
Snick. Absolutely. If you could drop a Suzuki Caravan gearbox into a new Ferrari, I think you'd have the perfect car.
And we cannot not mention that, really, because it was on your social media. You've bought your first brand new all the cars you've got.
First brand new car literally got finished. They finished making it last week. The Ferrari F8 Tributo in red. I know people have all these silly colours and that, but it's the Ferrari. I did have a blue 328 back in '99 for about 8 years, and it was a beautiful car. But I think a Ferrari, it has to be red. It has to be.
Did you go to the factory to spec it?
I've been to the factory 14 times. So
the comment was, he's actually
not
bought
him
one.
again. He's bought one at last. He's had all their biscuits. Now he can buy one. No, a pal of mine, Roy Jones. I wouldn't have been thinking about buying a new car. I mean, buying new cars was always for idiots with depreciation and everything. Because obviously this one will depreciate because it's not a special. It's not a limited one. It's not a piece or
no,
anything.
but I mean, if you play it right and keep the miles down, etc.,
I shan't be selling it
it'll
unless
plateau and then start to go up a little.
If I become skint, then obviously it will have to go. But at the moment, I've got no intentions. But only God knows. Ultimately, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, sort of thing. The Tributo.
Somebody's already told him you bought a new Ferrari. And that's what that noise is.
I got the little plaque there on the bulkhead. And as luck would have it, when I do my selfie, it's on my best side as well. So, happy days.
You're not exactly a shrinking violet, are you, Joel Mutton?
No. Although I'm quite a quiet sort of person, really. I'm all right once I know people.
Yeah.
And then they've sort of had it, really. Then they can sort of dodge and hide and do whatever they want, really. But, no, so that's quite exciting because that literally lands next week, I think. Stratstone and Wilmslow, that's where it's coming from.
Oh, right, my part of the world, to a degree.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that, it's a bit further north than we are at the moment.
I've only ever been on a train in my life in this country, or pretty much any other country, twice.
Yeah.
Once was to pick up my 360 from Greypool in Nottingham, and the second time was to go from my mate in Cardiff up to Stratstones to spec the Tributo, and that's I only get on a train if there's a new Ferrari at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the law.
Yeah.
Other than that, forget it. Public transport. Don't want to know. Struggle with planes, but I'm not in that league where I can get on a private jet yet. So more scratch cards required, I think.
But apart from the little van, when you're knocking out and about, because I know you enjoy going to concours and things like that. Do you have a particular?
You'll normally find me on a manicured lawn,
right?
Stepping out of
a
Chrysler PT Cruiser.
Oh, right.
Because my pal Mark, usually I can sort of get him a ticket.
Yeah.
Mark drives straight in the champagne tent. Yeah. Happy days. If you've got a car in tow,
you've had it.
Pretty. Yeah. You've had it. You are snookered.
Yeah.
So.
And the events you attend, the champagne will flow
on
quite
those manicured
freely.
lawns. I even take my own nail scissors sometimes if the lawn's just a little bit out. You missed a bit. Get the old Atco Gangmer out, kid, or the Suffolk Punch. You've missed a bit.
So when you acquire a car, what do you look for? What is it that turns you on about it?
It's like that 997 that I bought last November. Because it's been such a weird year, this one. It's like, Christ, I was in Co-op yesterday and they got the Christmas Kinder Egg bloody chocolates out. I was like, Christ, where did that year go?
All the cheap tins of Quality Street. Now's the time to buy them.
Exactly. It is white chocolate, isn't it? No, it's gone off. Anyway, just something that grabs me.
Yeah.
It's funny actually because I bought me that 997 last year. My dad bought it wasn't brand new, but it only done 800 miles from Dick Lovett Swindon, so I got no connection on commission. A McCann. We went to a Ferrari launch. My dad wanders from the Ferrari showroom over to the Porsche showroom at Dick Lovett. They got a fantastic setup over there. and falls in love with this McCann. And this is a man that's driven Jaguar XJ6s, and he's driven Jaguars since 1959.
Yeah.
Now, his first Jag was an XK120 when he was 19, and he had it on financing. It was £315, like £5 a month or something. When he married my mum, he swapped it for a Mini, which he then turned into a Cooper replica, customised it way before Wooden Pickett and Radford and everybody were doing it.
Yeah.
He did all the customising. He got Riley indicators and all sorts of fantastic done it. Whether you had the cables inside, he turned it to handles. And incredible, really. Got some lovely pictures of that car. They drove to Spain in it and everything. But that was the Jaguar, and sort of lost a train of thought then, wasn't it?
We're talking about like your dad bought a Porsche, years of driving Jaguar.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Bought a Porsche.
Yeah, you're going to have to stop plying me with this champagne, Mark.
On a Ferrari launch.
That's right, wandered across the road there.
I bet the Ferrari dealership was absolutely delighted by that.
Yeah, anyway, but it's all out. You can bugger off to the Porsche guys, but we own the Porsche guys anyway.
Doesn't make
so
any
fill your
difference.
boots. Sorry about the language. Anyway, literally lost the train of thought there. It's all these people with mobile phones taking pictures. I'll be over there in a minute for the autographs. Anyway, Dad buys this McCann, and getting back to that again, my dad's been driving Jaguars without a brake since '59.
Yeah.
XJ6, 1968. Didn't buy them new, so obviously he was driving them probably by '69. He was probably driving a 420G or something before then. Anyway, there isn't a nice new Jag. We took the F-Pace thing out, but it didn't quite have the, really, wasn't really, I won't say what we
wasn't
thought.
blowing your
I won't
frock.
say what we thought about it.
Wasn't blowing your frock up.
No, exactly, no. Anyway, he fell in love with this McCann, which is probably only a warmed over Audi anyway. So anyway, whatever. We go and pick it up. I go and look at it to show my mother, even though he'd already bought it anyway. And in the foyer was this beautiful orange 997. If you go on, I won't plug their name anymore, but anyway, it was a lovely looking car.
Dick Lovitch, you were saying.
That was them, yeah. Go on their Facebook page, there's a video of me on there picking up the car. And it's a lovely looking motor, and apparently the guy that owned it's had 200 Porsches.
Yeah.
He owns a haulage company or something, and he knows, what's right. And it had the lovely Sport Classic wheels and that on it. Now, this is a water-cooled 911. Now that is the Antichrist.
Yes.
When the 996
I'm from the era where 911s
I've had the
were
911s
cooled
since 1984. I've not had many, but when the 996 come out with those horrible Boxster headlights and horrendous contraption after the 993. I mean, the 993 was automotive Fabergé egg.
Yeah.
996 looked like a fried egg.
Yeah.
It's like, what a load of old nonsense. Anyway, I see this 997. I fell in love with the damn thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
Bought it, beautiful car, great reactions, but even to this day I do still feel like I'm a bit of a fraud driving a water-cooled 911. I do struggle with it, but it does look nice in the garage, so that was that one. Yeah.
So, but do you enter any of your cars into the concourse?
No, not really, because I always think that's a great way of ruining an afternoon. I'm in some old tosspot walking around your car with a clipboard pulling it to pieces. It's not my idea of having fun. I did do it back in the early days. I remember entering that 911E with the 3 litre RS body kit on it at where was it? Stoner Park in 1989, and it got absolutely shredded.
Yeah.
It was just no, never again. Even if I had the nice, it's all right if you're absolutely loaded, and you've just had some mega restoration done.
Yeah.
Although, tell a lie. In the late 70s, my dad used to take the Mark 1 Jag to JDC concourses.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to enter it in the Mark 1 section. Now, remember, there was not many Mark 1s around, so you normally stood a pretty good chance of winning something.
Yeah. So you hedge your bets.
Yeah. There was never more than 3. There would be 100 Mark 2s, and there was always 3 Mark 1s. So you'd always either never did come first, but you'd always come second, third, or fourth, or fifth.
Yeah.
And then something happened in the early 80s called the blank check restoration,
yes,
where people used to stroll into these places, flop it on the table, a bush. I remember this burgundy one appeared. He had all the correct transfers on the washer bottle and all the rest of it, and that was the end of that. Yeah. So I did come second, third, fourth, and fifth in exactly that order.
Yeah.
And I remember going up to collect the trophy. I'm not much taller now, but I remember them looking around. Oh, here he is. He's down there. Give me the trophy. And his little lad there with his red trousers on. I was always quite snazzy. Mum always used to kit me out in all the gear. And they were some good memories, yeah. But that would probably be the no, I wouldn't want to do it.
Because I know you were 10 concourse because you're at the Hampton
It's
Court
like sport. I'm not into sport.
Yeah.
I've never watched a football match in my life. I watched Oxford United once, but somebody told me it's not football. So, I've never actually seen a football match. The only thing I know about football is George Best used to drive a Lotus Europa.
Yeah.
I like David Beckham, admire him as a human being. He's a cool guy. He's a car man. But other than that, I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Now, your new Ferrari aside,
Yes.
what is missing from the Mutton collection?
That Mercedes 600 SL
Do you
V12 I
not know
sold.
until you've seen it?
The Mercedes 600 SL I sold, I would really like to get that back. So
Yeah.
if anyone knows who owns N105 UVV, I'm sat here with a checkbook, or backs transfer. If you want to sell me back. That's the only car at the moment that's burning away.
Yeah.
One that I actually owned that I regretted selling.
Yeah.
Very much so, yeah. Very, very sad about that, yeah.
But a lot of your cars, shall we say, are slightly more modern cars, late 50s. Do you have any interest in, like, the vintage cars? Are there any vintage?
No, I can
that
look
get
at
you
them and
going?
admire them, but I'm a bit of a lightweight, should we say?
Yeah.
Me and my friend, we bought a Mark 6 Bentley and drove to Le Mans about 4 years ago in it,
Yeah.
and I never realised how far Le Mans was. And you get there, you're not smiling. It's where your face has been blown back off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And when you break down at Reading at 3 a.m, and the AA man follows you all the way back to Bampton in Oxfordshire, because he's a really nice guy, whoever that guy is, if he's listening, and we owe you a big pint. No, because there's no. You've got to be able to know how to get your hands dirty. You've got to know what spark plugs are. I mean, I'm all right at washing a car and fitting a set of number plates.
Yeah.
I did try to get a bit interested in mechanics, but my dad said you never see a rich mechanic. I'm sure there's many rich mechanics around now, but that we're talking about the 1970s. So I just never got interested in it. Getting my hands dirty. It's like nah.
So you were talking about mechanics. Do you have a favoured mechanic that looks after?
I've got a
you,
lovely guy.
Do they get farmed out here and there?
I've got two several. I've got Stuart Bitmead at SB Race, who's been doing my Ferrari for about 15 years. He's superb. He's over in Aylesbury there. He even looks after Mick Jagger's F40.
Yeah.
Even Mick's 50.
Yeah.
He's not going to go into the main dealers.
By the way, you do know this new one you've bought will have to go into a main dealer.
Well, that's the wonderful thing. It's free 7-year servicing on a new Ferrari.
All right, so at 7 years it's going.
5-year servicing, 5-year warranty and 7-year servicing, all the other way around, which is nice because that will save you a bloody fortune. That is fantastic. You will save fortunes on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ferrari charge you a contemplation fee.
Yeah.
That coffee you get when you come in, you are paying for that.
Yeah.
That is $5,000.
Yeah.
That is on the receipt somewhere. Under WD-40 squirt. £10. But he's fantastic. Stuart Bitmead, a guy called Ian Horn. He's a little bit slow now. You do need to nudge him along. He's always looked after my Rolls Royces. He did his training at Jack Barclays. He was workshop foreman on Rolls Royce in the 70s and the 80s. Jason Bullock at Horsepower Service Station. He's fantastic. He's a real car enthusiast. He looks after pretty much everything now. Another guy, Stuart Talbot. He's a good friend. He's a proper car enthusiast. That's the gaggle. I got frightened away from restoration companies. In '91, I took my Jensen to a place. Obviously, won't say any names on air, but I did have to get some rather large men. Honky tonk. Hello, sailor. The police. They were based in Ross-on-Wye, so beware in that area. To get my lovely Mark II Interceptor back, I only took it in for a few little minor jobs. I think I lost a couple of grand, but I got the car back because they went boobies up, shall we say? And that was pretty damn scary.
Yeah.
I nearly lost my car. I had a guy ring me up not long after who had an FF in there, and they'd taken 25 grand off him. We're talking 30 years ago when 25 grand was still a substantial amount of money now. And all he ended up with was a sandblasted shell. It's a shame because these people were actually, when they did put their mind to it, they could turn some stuff out. But they were selling like one Jensen bumper to 10 different people. The same one, the same bumper.
Yeah.
So that bumper there is owned by 10 people. But moving on anyway. No names mentioned. So I shan't be going into any restoration jobs anytime soon. It's just too emotional. It's one, if you've got a big wallet and all the rest of it. I mean, I'm not hard up, but you do have to be patient and all the rest of it. And I'm sure 99.9% of the restoration companies out there are absolutely fantastic. It's just that small element that can put you off for life. I mean, I'm talking 30 years later and I'm still shivering thinking about it. You know, it's horrible. You think you're going to lose your car. You know, and I literally had to get the police and two rather large chaps who actually in real life wouldn't say boo to a goose, but they look the part, to get this car back. You know? So my restoration days started very young and ended very young as well.
You mentioned Rolls-Royce. I mean, the one thing about a Rolls-Royce is, I mean, compared to some of the sports cars you own and drive, do you find them nice and relaxing to drive, Rolls-Royce? I always think once you're in them, they're just pleasant to be in.
I've got an old Spur that was owned, he bought it a year old, was owned by Bernie Winters.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a picture of the car outside the factory in 1983. Bought it a year old. Always a canny Jew, bless him. Let the depreciation knock in there. It's the Golders Green specification with the gold flying lady.
Yeah.
But I got a lovely picture of Bernie at the works, and I spoke to a guy quite a few years ago that works at Crew, still there, but I mean, he was. And Bernie come one Saturday morning. They made him a seat cover for snorbits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or snorkels, as a friend of mine. You know Lionel, don't you? Lionel always calls him Snorkel. That's actually the banana splits, but you know, it's quite amusing. But no, that was Bernie's car up until he sadly died. Bought the car at BCA 6 months before Bernie passed away, bless him. But that car, it's in a little bit of a state now because it's lived outside for quite a lot and it's been shunted about, and obviously it's an old Rolls Spur, and then it's only worth really is in its amusing history. I mean, you can pick these things up for nothing, but as we said earlier, it's not about the money.
I think the thing is, though, it's like, you see people, I've bought a Rolls Royce, I've only given 10 grand for it.
Yeah.
What they don't realise, it will still give you the bills and the running costs of a £200,000
they're not that
car.
bad. I mean, the brakes, Citroen-inspired brakes, they're a bit, you've got to make sure you get the right LM fluid or whatever it is in there. I know a mate of mine in Nigeria, he's got several Rolls Royces out there, and one of his mechanics accidentally put ordinary brake fluid in it, so he flew someone out there to flush it all out and try and sort it all out. But it's amazing the damage that it can cause. But they're all right. I mean, the engines never go wrong.
No,
touch wood. They are incredibly well made cars. They get the worm in them, but much like everything else. But no, they're pretty reliable rollers.
And they are, but they are comfortable.
They're lovely old things, and you can have as much fun in an old 5 grand Bentley 8 as someone that's just spent 300 grand. Much like a lot of this sort of old stuff, And
the other thing is, for distance, they are a nice, relaxing thing to go
travel
distance.
Oh, they're lovely. Yeah. I'm just going to get my jacket.
So, Joel's just disappeared to get his jacket. He's got a bit chilly. So, but. So, just talk amongst yourself. Oh, look out, he's back.
Now.
He's back.
He's sartorially sorted out now.
So, do you ever think you will lose the passion for buying cars and collecting cars?
I do hope not.
Right.
Yeah. I love cars. And it seems to be getting even worse now. I think with the advent of Facebook, Instagram to a degree. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not really... official Joel Mutton, if anybody's listening. We could do with one more follower, we've only got about 3.
Instagram's about 300,000.
It's not so personal, Instagram. It's all a bit sort of like, it's all right if you're a well-endowed young lady, I think.
Yes.
But if you're some skinny bloke from Horsepath, it's you're not really I'm not exactly Rihanna. Let's put it like that. But Facebook's great.
Yeah.
In the right hands. It is a fantastic medium. I mean, it is wonderful.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, you look at them now and they look at you, it's on Facebook, that's all bug day, that's old hat now. But I met Christian Ireland, who sat with us here today, who kindly invited me here. He's a personal friend of both of ours. It just, without Facebook, I wouldn't know Christian Ireland. I'm scrolling through Facebook one day and a picture of Innes Ireland pops up. Christian Ireland, who can this be? Is this his wife or whatever? His widow. And it's his daughter.
Yeah.
And what a lovely lady she is too. We met, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
We got a mutual friend called Jerry Stonnell. He used to own the Mason Arms, the individual Mason's Arms at South Lee, and I can stick my neck out and say it's the finest drinking establishment.
Yeah.
Certainly in the UK.
Yeah.
If not Europe.
Yeah.
It's not with us anymore. Jerry's with it, very much with us, but the Mason's Arms, he sold it. He gave it away. I think he sold it for about 400,000 or something. But It was amazing. Vegetarians were banned, children were banned, mobile phones were banned, even though Jerry has now got a mobile phone, but a very old analogue thing. You could smoke cigars in there. He was actually, his claim to fame, he's got many, he was the first person in the UK to get banned for flaunting the smoking ban.
Yeah.
Got fined. The council very craftily sent some people in there monitoring the place, and he got fined £5,000. But he's got such fantastic, well-heeled customers.
Yeah.
Two of them just wrote out 2 cheques for £2,500. Yeah, Jerry, sort of thing. So that was nice. There was another guy in there, a famous, not famous. He was a Russian sort of billionaire, and I think Jerry just happened to inquire what a nice Breguet watch he had to have on. And should we call him Sergio just for amusement purposes? His interpreter said, "When is your birthday, Mr. Sonil?" It's not particularly Russian, that, but you get the drift. I don't know, June something or other. Took the watch off. That's just a nice steak meal. That can't happen very often, Have my Breguet watch, I've had such a nice lunch. That doesn't happen. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, but that was the Mason's Arms.
I've enjoyed interviewing you. Any chance at keys to Aston?
Exactly, yeah. It's actually a Ford Transit key, so fill your boots, honky tonks. But other makes of van are available, apparently. Yes. But that's a mutual friend Jerry. So me and Christiane, we went out for lunch, and Christiane kindly gave me, on the second time we went out, she gave me the actual copy of her dad's All Arms and Elbows.
Yeah.
That he gave to his father. I mean, that was just heartwarming, and that is.
Well, she's very kindly.
I've got a big motoring library, and that is like the star.
Well, she's very kindly given me a copy. It doesn't quite have the illustrious history of yours, but she's given me a copy, and it's fascinating. Absolutely,
it is fantastic.
From the words of a man who was there, it's the guy who was there at the time.
Unbelievable.
Writing in his own words.
I mean, he was the prototype sort of James. He was James Hunt before James Hunt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He endured his drink and. The ladies and that to a degree, I suppose. He was little girly, we've got to be careful with delicate little ears. But, what a guy.
If anybody wonders what the noise behind us is, it's light aircraft towing gliding.
We're right on the end of the runway, we have to keep ducking.
But we could carry on forever here.
But we're not that cruel.
But Joel Mutton, thank you ever so much for joining me on the Backseat Driver Radio Show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, Joel, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Rarely beaten on price, never beaten on service. Whether it's cars, bikes or commercials, Hodder Tyres are the best in the business. And when it comes to tyre expertise and advice to supplying the correct tyres for your vehicle's specific requirements, nobody comes close to David Lakin and the Hodder Tyres team. So give them a call on 01200 613 192 or visit the website at hoddertyres.co.uk.